Well, it's springtime, so I'm back here at Thomke Farm, and I'm learning all about baby chicks. And we'll find out what it takes to grow them, to feed them, and all the details that you need. Plus, why you may or may not want to have these pets for yourself.
Hi, I'm Kari from Thomke Farm. We are now at the time of year where we do chicks. Every year I hatch a couple out. We don't really need any more, but once you see them, you'll realize why you want to keep hatching them. They're so cute. Every April, I will throw a couple dozen eggs in the incubator just to replace any chickens that I've lost throughout the years if I do lose any, and just because they're really cute. I usually do a couple batches, usually 2. Sometimes I'll sell the extras, sometimes I keep them all, sometimes I eat them. It really depends on the year. So with chicks, the first thing that you're gonna do when you get them, and it's gonna really depend on where you get them from, because if you are getting them from Fleet Farm or Tractor Supply, usually they are about a week old already, or they're not just born. If you're hatching them, it's a whole other thing. But regardless, first things you wanna do for all chicks when you get them home is you wanna check their butts. They can be prone to basically getting caked on poop, essentially. And if you're not checking that to make sure that that's cleaned off, it can actually plug them up and it can kill them. So number one thing when you get chicks is check that. Clean it if you have to. Normally you can just soak it or press water to it and it'll eventually be able to clean it off. Something you should check every day for the first couple weeks, just to be sure. Second thing is you're gonna always want to take the chick, when you first get them and you're putting them in your brooder, you're gonna wanna dip their beaks directly in the water and put them down just to show them where the water is. Because once they know that first drink, they'll be able to find it. Third, the heat. So there's multiple types of heat for chicks. You can do, this is the old school, they're more of a fire hazard. There's arguments on these online. You will hear every opinion under the sun on these. But it's the tried and true method. You just always have to make sure it's secure, because if this falls in here, it could start a fire. So that's number one thing with that. The other option is we have these warming plates. These are a newer invention. Some people really like them. They work, but they basically just create heat underneath and the chicks will go underneath. But for the first, it's kind of a rule of 5 with the heat. So for the first week, you want it to be between 95 and 90. Second week, 90, 85. Third week, 85, 80. And basically go down until it's about the same temperatures outside, and then you can take it out. So for chick feed, there's really 2 options. You can get medicated or non-medicated. If you get medicated, it just has an added component to protect it against coccidiosis, which is just an intestinal disease that actually all chickens can get. It's personal preference. It's really, if you're keeping them healthy and clean and you get them from a good place, you shouldn't really have that issue. But it is an option, like all medicated feed. Another thing with the heat is if you have a wide enough container for them, you really should put it to one side, because they will also regulate their own heat. They will move farther away if they are too hot, they will move closer if they're too cold. If you really have a small container and you're putting this light directly in that and it's only the 95, they could overheat. And same thing too with bigger containers. They can get prone to being cold or getting just too chilled, and that can kill them too. So drafty areas, like I wouldn't put them anywhere like in a garage where you're gonna be opening it, just at least in the first couple weeks, because they can get chilled with the air draft. But other than that, after the first couple weeks, they're pretty hardy. And these ones just had about a dozen children holding them for like 3 hours the other day for a party, so they can handle a lot. Something to consider is the first like 2 weeks, you're okay to really have these in your house if you want to keep them in your house for in the brooding pen. But after that, you're gonna, you might want to move them to the garage or somewhere else because they start getting dusty. They will create a fine layer of dust over everything, which I wish I could show you something that has it. But it's something to do with them getting their feathers and just flushing everything around here. And it's gross. So if you have the ability to put it somewhere, I'm lucky to have the barn to put it in, but a garage, if it's warm enough, or I don't know, even, I just would not put it in your living room, is what I would say. When I first put my chicks in, when they're first hatched, or usually about the first week, I will just use paper towel on the bottom, or newspaper, paper towel, just on the bottom, just because it's easier to see that they're eating. It's easier to see where the water is. They're not getting wood chips stuck to them. It's just an easier to monitor situation. After that first week, I will put wood chips just because it doesn't take as much cleaning. You don't have to change it out as much as the paper towel every day. This chick is a week old. This one is 4 to 5 weeks old. It's quite a difference here. Look at this. So when they get to be about 6 weeks and they're fully feathered, which this one's almost fully feathered, it still has some baby feathers here, I will move them outside to, I call it the Gerber grow out pen. It is one of my small coops out there, and they'll go in there until they're about 10 weeks, 12 weeks, basically where they're full size. And then they get moved into the big coop with all the adults. I let them grow up a little bit so they can hold their own, because there is a pecking order. It is, chickens can be nasty. If I were to throw this, there it goes. If I were to throw that chick in with my adults right now, it would probably get beat up, and they could kill it. They will fight anything new that comes into the coop that they're not used to. So I always try to at least have 5 chicks put into the big pen at the same time. I will never put one new chicken into the coop, or they will be like, this is a stranger, who is this? They need to get out. Most neighborhoods have regulations on what you can and can't have. A lot of them are 4 hens in the Green Bay area. I am agriculturally zoned. I can have as many as I want, as long as I'm not disturbing the neighbors, and I have very good neighbors. But even still, I don't normally keep roosters. I keep 1, and not always. So what happens with me is a lot of times I will either eat the roosters when they're full size, or I will throw them on Craigslist. Or you can find a lot of people that will come and they'll take them because they will eat them. It's sad to get attached to them, but too many roosters create a problem. They will fight. Not only, sometimes I can have 2 usually, and I can be fine. But if you have more than that, it'll be too much for the hens. But this is a little rooster, so he will be going bye-bye. But he's cute. So another thing about chickens is you will never, very rarely, depending on where you are, but you will never really make money off of eggs. So if you're thinking about getting them to save money on your eggs, you're not going to. You just have to enjoy them as pets more than anything, because just the cost of cleaning their coop, the supplies, the food, food is average about $15 a bag depending on what you get. And there's different options of food too, because it depends on how well you want to feed them. There's multiple, organic options. There's the regular ones that you can get. We go up to Gillette to a feed mill to actually get ours, just because it's a little fresher. But it's expensive to feed them. It's expensive to keep them. And we will never break even. we will never break even. We would have to be selling our eggs for like $9 a dozen, if not more, to maybe cover just the cost of their food. So if you're going into this, just keep that in mind, that you are basically just getting yourself another pet that happens to give you some food. It is not to make money. It's a hot commodity though. I normally sell out of every egg I get, so whether we have them in the cooler is hit or miss, especially later in the summer when they're slowing down or half of my hens are broody, sitting on eggs trying to hatch eggs instead of laying. But I specifically keep chickens for egg color, which that's something that's kind of divided in the chicken world too. You get the people that just want a good producing chicken that will lay a whole bunch of eggs. They don't care about colors, and it's very valid because a lot of these ones that lay these darker colors or these crazy colors do not lay as often, or they tend to go broody, or they're just more sensitive of a breed where they can die easier. So it's an argument on both sides, but it's really fun to get a dozen eggs that look like this. And egg breeding, or for color breeding, is really, really bizarre, because what happens is if you take a blue egg layer and you breed it to this brown egg layer, that's how you get this. It's weird, because how does that work? That should not, doesn't seem like it should work that way. Same thing too, like if you do this, to the lighter color, you get the lighter green. And it's bizarre, but it's really, really fun. So yes, we do have eggs available normally, but it is first come, first serve, and luck of the draw.
I was lucky enough to score these beautiful eggs during my visit to Thomke Farm. Follow them on Facebook or Instagram for more details.